G'day jet setters. Hey, welcome back to another episode. Pleased to have you on board. Thanks for tuning in, all that sort of stuff. And before I forget, which I normally do, please give us a thumbs up, like and subscribe, and so you don't miss out on my exciting videos. Vids, episodes, whatever you like to call them. The one I'm doing today is a bit about pine trees. Please excuse the noise if you can hear it in the background. I'm next to the highway, freeway. Got no choice because I just wanted you guys to get the environment here. The other day I was actually asked by a friend, someone I do have him. He's not a local. He's only been here 3, 4, 5, 8 years, I suppose. No, not even that long, but that's beside the point. He said, pine trees. I said, yeah, they're big, long green sticks out the bush. He said, what's the significance about it? Now, he's been here for a little while, I suppose. Like I said, must be about 5 years. But he's asked, his kids are asking about them. And I thought, oh, and how were they done years ago? When were they first established in the southeast, or were they natural down this way? So I'll point him out to a little place where I am at the moment, and I'll just show you quickly about that in a sec. But then I thought, that museum up at Nangwarry, that's really, really interesting. I've been through there before, so I thought I'll send him up to that, and that's the Nangwarry Forestry Museum. So we'll end up going through there today, have a bit of a look, but before we do, I just thought I'm out bush at the moment, well that's what we call it, out bush, out amongst the pines. If you haven't been amongst the pines, when you stop at this information bay where I'm at the moment, just go for a walk, have a look, but just be careful of sticks. You've got to also remember it is private property, so they can come to you to piss off. But if you're just going for a walk, getting the feel of the place, some people like it, some people don't, but I like the feel of what gives it to you. So come down. Well, next time in the mount, I'm just south of Penola, just north of Mount Gambier. A little parking bay, it's the Forestry parking bay. Yeah, I'll just show you. I'll just take over, show you these couple of little huts. It tells you a little bit about it, not much. I suppose enough for a kid's project, I suppose. But if you really want to have a good look, come down to the Nangwarry Museum. It is really worth it. We'll go there in a minute. Let's just have a look at these little huts first. Might even go for a drive amongst the pine trees down here. Yeah, it's so here we go. Now this information bay is well, you can read it for yourself, you know, plantation and forestry and how it all works. It's a lot of information. Now just really quickly, they'll mostly correct me later on at the museum, but a large tree, 65, I think it's about 60 years of age, the pine tree, fairly matured one, you only need 3 of them to build an average house. And that's a 3-bedroom, kitchen, lounge room, toilet, bathroom, that type of thing. You only need 3 trees to do that whole tree. Start again. You need 3 trees to build a whole house. And I find that quite interesting because some of the trees, you don't see them nowadays, of humongous butt on them, you know, at 60 years of age. They're huge, you know, a metre across plus. And Nangwarry Mill, back in the time, would say, bring them in, we can do it. They were the last of the mills what could do and were able to do the large trees. Yeah, Anyway, here's a bit more of the sea. Tells you about the a quick blast of the history of where it was. That's the old State Mill. I used to work there, and the difference in years. Now, I know you guys, it's a bit hard for you guys to read all that, so as you come and have a look. Now this one here, it's even got a picture of what one of the saws are like in the museum, and a bit more guff there. Now, I've had people say to me, you're moving the camera too quick, we can't read it all. But some people, they can freeze it, they can read it, and some people say we're going to go down and have a look for, ourselves. And I've got to just add as well, the museum is run by volunteers, and the money what they get is all donated to them, and anybody who donates any money to it. There is an entry fee of $5 to go into the museum, but last time I went there, I reckon I spent about an hour, if not more, and I could have spent longer. But here's a bit more guff. Native forest reserves, and a bit of a map around the area. As you, like I said before, you've got those little huts with the information bay on there, and as you wander south of them, you come across, from memory, 10 different lots of gums, pines, and what other. There's a bit of a sign up through here, but the Tasmanian blue gum, which is the first one you come across, that was planted back in the year 2000. But there's 10 lots of different pines. As we walk, that's the Tassie blue gum. Oops, that's pointing up to the stars, the sun. Sorry about that. All right, get you a little bit better. Like I said, I think I've already said, I'm not too sure, but I'll say it again anyway. If you do go for a bit of a wander in and around the pines and that, it is private property. They can tell you to come along, piss off, especially through 5-man days. But there is a lot of tracks in there around the place, around the southeast, where you're allowed to go for a bit of a drive and have a look at the pine trees. It's really interesting. Young Charlie's absolutely loving this walk around. Here he comes. What do you reckon, Charlie? Yep. The next greyhound. Anyway, just remember also, travellers, if you're coming in to have a look at where we are, at the Forestry, the short information, 5 k's north of Nangwarry and 16 k's south of Penola. For that little bit of information, at the Forestry on the eastern side of Ridlock Highway, and when you want to have a proper look at the old machinery, the chainsaws, the saws, and a big thing there, Ash Wednesday. That's really a big eye-opener. How much it burnt, how quickly it burnt, lives are lost, and the property was lost. In front of the Nangwarry Forestry Museum. It's got a thumping big, when you're going past Nangwarry, you won't be able to miss it because it's got a thumping big, what's called log grab out the front. They just finished putting it all together out there. So that's where it is, and the museum is just in behind it. Now this museum has got thousands of exhibits. I know of a lot of people who know this place but never been in here. Now this will be my second time, and I've already stuck my head in the door and I'm still gobsmacked. So I'd like you to, it'll tell us the journey of the of the timber industry in around the southeast. So jump on board, saddle up, and let's go ahead and see what they've got inside. And they also got a motorbike in the front window there. As you come up to, I don't know whether you can see through the glass or not. And as you enter into the museum, you'll see what you're looking at now, and more than likely you'll be greeted with Vic. He's over there, and the entry fee is $5 per head.
Right. $2.50 for children under 15.
And $2.50 for children under 15. This is just sort of some of the stuff what you'll see inside the museum. I'm standing here with Vic, Vic Smith. Now, Vic, I understand that you've been here since the day dot.
I have, yes. I started here in 1999, and it was a project brought forward by Morris Daunt of LV Daunt and Company. He decided it'd be a good idea to have a museum, and he called a meeting, and I think there was about 20 or 25 of us that rolled up at this meeting, and we formed a committee, and that's what's happened from now on. And I was on that committee from the start.
And still
on it.
Still on today.
And that's 25 years later. I retired a couple of times, but they wouldn't let me go, so they couldn't find anybody to replace me, they said, but that's making me a bit big-headed.
So after you went through the committee and all that type of stuff, you got a couple of exhibits.
Yes.
And when did you actually start?
Morris donated a crane truck.
Okay.
And that's the truck that used to go out in the bush, pick up the logs, and we'll show you later on, we got one in the shed, the very one that Morris gave to us. And then we acquired a fire truck, a Bedford fire truck, and they were the only two things that we had at that time. We applied to the federal government for a grant, and we were successful with a $25,000 grant, which built us our first shed. And that's where we housed, and are still housing, the crane truck and the fire truck. Yeah, we have a variety of chainsaws here, 90% of which were donated by LETA, which is Log Investigating and Training Association. They are still working. It's still an organisation. The other odd ones were personally donated by people who have seen me in town and said to me, I've got an old chainsaw in my garage, if you'd like to come and get it, you can have it. Most of the other chainsaw we've got, and we've got 65, 70 chainsaws around the place.
Oh God! Now unlike the motorbike in the front window, which is all made out of timber,
that's right. Now
these are all the real ones.
These are the real things.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because you look at that motorbike, and you swear to God, you think it's the real thing. Yeah.
You think it'd start.
Well, that's
one of the oldest ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. They call that a scratcher because it's got a different blade on the others, really coarse blade.
Yeah. Haven't seen one like that before.
It's pretty heavy.
Yeah. And any one of these could have been, or type of chainsaw like this could have been used in the bush.
Oh, these are all used, yeah.
Okay, yep.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one of the oldest.
Okay.
Universal Wood Boss, made in Canada by Pole Machinery.
Now, jet setters, you would see these towers in and around the forestry areas, and you wonder what they do up there, sit down, drink coffee and tea all day. Well, when there's smoke in and around, they have to be out there looking.
340 on that.
And so at one of these towers, you'll get a tower at back of, where would that be?
Yeah, we spotted the smoke at 340.
Right, that tower would be at Lake Leak Tower, and he spots a fire at 340. So he lines his thing up at 340, his line, and this tower here is back at Nangwarry.
Yep.
And he does a measure on his. What's the measure on that one there?
That's just
280. 280. Then they come up wherever you measure from. That's where the smoke is, and where the fire is.
It's near enough, I know.
Well done, that's good, because people don't understand that. They will know.
This tree in behind me, it shows a lot of different products what can come out of one tree. I'll just run over you. I'll let you read it yourself. Quite amazing how all those, I didn't count them, I should have, all those different products can come out of one tree. It's amazing. Absolutely bloody amazing.
The first plantation trees in South Australia were planted in 1875 in Bundalia, where they planted several different varieties, but they came up with radiata pine being the best one. It suited the area, and especially in the Green Triangle. It was perfect for that. It was good drainage, and they seem to do much better in that than anywhere else.
And this is showing
That's where they prepared the ground for planting.
Yes. Yeah. Right down to the
and that's the nursery.
Nursery.
Where they grew the seedlings.
And what age? What age do they cut the trees down? When they cut the trees down, what age do they get to now?
Well, the normal age goes about 10 years before they do the first turn.
Okay, 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first innings. Yeah.
That was the first innings,
Yes.
okay. So what would you call a matured tree, you know?
Well, when they don't, to me, being in the trees all my life, and the mature trees nowadays are these here are 60, 80 years old, where now they're clear falling at 25 to 30 year old.
Right. So it used to be 30, 40 years old. Now they're down.
No. They used to be 60, 70 years old, don't they?
Yeah, these trees here are 60, 70.
60, 70 years of age.
Yep.
With a butt of a couple of metres.
Yeah.
Now they're knocking them down at 25.
Well, they decided to bring the rotation down to 37 year old, but since then, I've seen them cutting them down at 25 year old.
25.
They get greedy for chips. So.
Yeah.
We called it clear falling.
Yes.
Yeah, they clear fell down. But
And correct me if I'm wrong, they've got a picture down here of a tree. That's a two-story house, two-story, but I was led to believe a mature tree at 30 to 40 years of age, they only needed three trees to build a house, a 3-bedroom house. Would that be about right?
no, it'd be you're going back to the 60,
Yeah,
70
a 60, 70 year old tree.
Yeah, that would.
And that's
But not today. You wouldn't build.
No.
and that's when you get the clear wood.
Yeah. Yes.
We call clear wood, the good wood.
Good
There's
wood,
no
yeah.
branches from here to there. There's no branches.
Yep.
So that means no knots.
Yep. Stronger timber.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
When we clear falled an area at Lands, they said that it was high front and way back in the 30s when the depression was on, and they reckoned when we clear falled it was some of the finest radiata in the world.
But the tree was what age then?
They were high front in the 30s, so
Yeah.
there might have been anything up to with 60, 70 year old.
Good trees. Yeah.
Yeah, don't get like that now. They got greedy. They want the profit. It's an international, by the way.
We're out in the back shed, where they've got a crane truck, international. Is that right, Vic?
That's right, the international. Yep.
And they used to.
Donated by Morris Don't.
Oh yeah. And you still got the driver in there.
Morris there, yeah. That's
Morris,
right.
still there. God. And they'll drive these out on the open road.
Yes.
Yes.
Certainly. Yeah.
Up through the gullets of the pond.
Morris told me that when he picked this truck up from Adelaide, well, it only had a single axle on then. It had no cab, no windscreen, and he sat on a box. He sat on a box and he drove it all the way from Adelaide. That was when they had dirt road from down here. Yeah? That was an uncomfortable drive. Just all it was a chassis.
Yeah. Out around the back of the inside of the museum, they've got some more exhibits, and this particular one, oops, pointing at the stars again, this particular one here is called Dino, because it looks like a dinosaur. Dean for Dino, Dean, dinosaur. So we'll just wander around.
Cut them into lengths.
And those logs you see on the back of that,
That's a bigger crane truck, yeah.
yeah, they're salt treated, but that's well, that's the sort of
Yeah, that logs were salvaged from the SBC fire.
okay. That's the sort of seats you're sitting on. All you need is a bag to stop your ass from getting wet, and the steering wheel would have been there. And then also you got the gearbox to run. In around southeast, where there's palm plantations, used to be little huts, single men's quarters. This is a 2 single men's quarter. That's pretty standard. Of the forwarders, what was used out bush yesteryear, not that much difference from what they use today. All based around the same type of thing. Okay, jet setters, that's it from the Nangwarry Forestry Museum. If you're going past Nangwarry, you'll see this big yellow beast out the front, especially if you're coming from the north, from Penola into Mount Gambier. You'll see this big yellow beast. Call in. Now, the whole museum is run by volunteers and runs on donations. So I urge you, as you're going past, have a look at it. Here comes another truck. Urge you, if you're going past, you want to have a bit of a look around the Forestry Topping Museum, really recommend. It's the best one I've seen for this style of museum. Absolutely bloody excellent. Hey, jet setters, please give us a thumbs up, like, subscribe, all that type of stuff, and we'll see you on the next one. Just quickly, the ones who may not know, Squeeze and myself and young Charlie might get a prawn or whatever else on a pizza. We're doing a pizza taste test in around the southeast and where we go to. It's and we're going to let people know the best pizzas we've had, and thank you very much for the people who've texted in and let me know their best pizza, what they like. We've got a bit of a criteria what they've got to meet up against, and we'll come up with the best pizza what we think. Young Charlie's running amok here just at the moment. We'll come up with the best pizza what we think you can get, and then we'll let you people know. But also we've got another list going, and that's your suggestions, and we're writing all these down as we get them in. Write them down, who they are and how many ticks we put up alongside of them, and we're also testing these to see what we think of it, and then the best 2 or 3 we're going to publish, let people know. We're going as far as Horsham and anything in between. Horsham, Adelaide. If you reckon you know of a good pizza place and it's nice and tasty and good value for money, not oily, friendly, all that sort of stuff. Plenty of stuff on ingredients on your pizza. The wife and I, we've got something real written down, and we give each criteria a mark out of 10. Anyway, for those people who don't know, that's what we're doing, and I'll thank you to everybody who's texted in and let me know theirs. Okay then, cheers. Ready for home, Charlie? Yep. Just sitting here enjoying. Yep. He's a bloody good mate. You know, I bought him for the wife as a therapy dog. Yeah, true story. Gets me out of the house. Think about that one. Anyway, see you, Jess Ellis. Come for a drive?